Okay, welcome to class, everyone. Today is September 22nd here in the US and the 23rd over in Australia. So happy to have you all who are able to participate. And I will make a recording and post it for those that can't join today. So let's begin to settle into our practice today. Let your breath bring you home. Begin to close your eyes. Well, first of all, let's get into a comfortable position. So you can either be sitting on a chair, you can be sitting on your mat. A pillow under your tailbone is helpful to keep your spine growing up straight out of the pelvis. And if you are sitting, just raise your shoulders up and draw them back down. Lengthen your shoulders away from your ears. Settle down into your pelvis. You can have your hands resting in your lap or on your knees. And if you're lying down, it might be comfortable to have your knees pointed to the ceiling, feet flat on the floor. And just begin to settle into your bodies, and then your bodies settle into the earth. Begin to gaze inward. And we're going to move from our outer busy worlds all around us to our inner world and find a place of peace and stillness deep inside. So gently close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath. And just begin to notice it without changing it or controlling it. Just notice the inhales as the breath touches the nostrils as it comes into your body. And follow it through to the exhale, the pause at the end of the exhale as your breath leaves your body. Familiarize yourself with your breath, your own unique breath. Now scan your body for any tension you might be holding, any gripping, holding pattern you might have. Particularly, people hold tension in their jaws, neck, your shoulders, possibly your lower belly or your lower back. And with a nice exhale, just begin to soften and release that tension. Picture your breath as ocean waves. The inhale as the wave comes onto the shore. As it comes to the end of its cycle, there's a slight pause at the top of the inhale, and then the wave goes back into the ocean, and there's a pause at the end of the exhale. Notice the way your body moves with your breath. Different parts of the body moving as you inhale and as you exhale. Feel a sense of peace, tranquility, and comfort wash over you. Now soften your lower belly as we begin to take our breath a little more deeply into the body. You'll notice the lower belly may rise. And on the exhale, all the way through through the nostrils, and the body may sink back down. The inhale, the energy coming into the body. The exhale, the relaxation. Now begin to pace your breath, smoothly pace your breath, so that the inhale and the exhale are about the same length. So if you inhale for 2, you can count, your exhale will be 2. If your inhale is 3, lengthen the exhale to 3. And do that a couple of times, just pacing and smoothly pacing out the breath, evening out the breath. If you feel any tension with this, just go back to your normal breathing pattern. And to bring us even a little more into our relaxation mode, our rest and relax nervous system, our next exercise is going to be lengthening out the exhale. We're going to do this by you'll inhale, but when you exhale, exhale through your mouth and blow out as though you're breathing through a straw, a narrow straw. So inhale and exhale, breathing through, blowing out through the mouth. And do that 3 more breath cycles. So inhaling and exhaling through the straw. And then you can return to your normal breathing pattern. Hopefully you'll be a little more relaxed. Your body will be a little softer. And begin to open your eyes. If you are sitting up, you're going to come to lying down on your mat. We're going to link our breath to our movement. So synchronizing breath and movement. So lie down on your mat. Just feel your back body on the mat here. Both sides of the skull balanced. The back of the head is balanced. The shoulders are nice and heavy and length, broad across the shoulders. Down the spine, the back of the pelvis, the feet. And so when you inhale, you're going to bring your knees in and arms up and over. Nice long inhale, go nice slowly with this movement. Exhale, the feet come down, followed by the hands. They have a longer path. On that exhale, do this 2 more times. Inhale, knees in, arms up and over. Exhale. Bring the feet and hands back down to the mat. Lengthen out the exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And 1 more time. Nice and slowly, making mindful movements to bring the knees into the torso, hands up and back. And final exhale. Now we'll do a cross body kind of movement. So you're going to bring your left knee in towards your torso, right arm up and back. And return. Other side, right knee, left arm. And return. And do this 2 more times on each side. And then come back to a centered space here. Take your feet out to the width of the mat, and your arms can come out to by your sides, a little bit away from your body, palms facing up, and just begin to take the knees, just sway the knees from left to right, just rocking across the back of your hips, the back of your pelvis. Just going to sway the knees, and then slowly, as you loosen up that lower back and the hip joints, you can let the knees come a little more over towards the earth. So inhale as you come back up to center, exhale over to the side. Inhale up to center, linking that breath to the movement. Exhale to the side. Inhale, exhale. Really picture the hip bones rocking side to side in the hip joint, and the thigh bones sliding side to side in the hip joints. And the next time you come to the right, just let your knees rest over to the right side. Your left hip can be up off the mat here. Just feel the lengthening of the left side of the body all the way down the left rib cage, left torso, the left quadricep. Soften any tightness here. And then just see if you can bring that left foot up, the left heel up towards your left buttock. So it's going to come up a little bit closer to your body. You can put your hand around your foot here, but you'll feel a strong sensation up that left thigh muscle, the left quadricep here. So you're stretching out and lengthening that quadricep muscle. Opening up the psoas, all the hip flexors here. And then you can return the foot back to its original position. Bring the knees back up to center and then roll them over to the left side. Take a moment here to lengthen out the right side of the body. Right rib cage is expanding as you breathe into the right rib cage. Right side of the torso, the right hip, and right quadricep. And to get even more of a stretch in that quadricep, if you can, just walk that right foot back towards the right hip. If you don't have that accessibility, just come to wherever is comfortable for you. And then take a nice deep inhale. And exhale into the tightness of the quadricep. Do 3 breaths here. And then you can bring that foot back, the right foot back, and then bring both knees back up to center. Bring your feet into back into about hip distance apart. We'll do some pelvic tilts here. So we're going to be warming up the lower back and the pelvic area. So locate your sit bones. They're right at the back of your buttocks there. And I want you to move those sit bones forward towards the front of your mat and then down. And you'll notice the back is going to be arching. The lower back will arch as you move the sit bones forward and down. You're not going to be using your leg muscles or back muscles, just your pelvis. And exhale as you bring your hip points back towards your head and your lower back will flatten out. Bring the sit bones forward as the lower back arches, inhaling. Hip points come back towards the head as the lower back flattens. This is an up and down motion, a little bobbing motion with the pelvis. So just continue on these pelvic tilts forward and moving our pelvis forward and backwards, warming up the back muscles. And you can feel your spine is actually oscillating all the way up and down your spine. Your head will even be moving back and forth as your pelvis moves forward and backwards. So allow for that easy movement through the spine, forward and backwards. One more round here. And then relax those shoulders, back on the mat. Make sure the neck is nice and long. And we'll do a nice lower back and sacrum massage. So have an imaginary marble, place it in your belly button. You're going to roll that marble from your belly button around to your right hip point. So roll the marble around to your right hip point and then take it down towards the top of your pubic bone. Take it back over towards your left hip joint and then back up to your pelvis. And you'll feel that whole pelvic area rising and lowering as you take the marble from belly button to right hip joint, hip point, top of pubic bone, around to the left. Massaging out the sacrum area here, the lower back. And next time you come to the belly button, you can reverse and go from belly button, roll the marble over to the left hip point, down to the top of the pubic bone, over to the right hip point, and then back up. Try and make this as smooth as you can. So it's a nice smooth round movement, and then try and feel that movement in the back of, in your lower back and sacrum. Your head will probably be moving as you move the hips around here. So just allow for a nice fluidity throughout the body. And then you can come to still. Take both legs out, extend both legs out in front of you, and have your feet, you can have your feet pointed at this time, and then bring your arms up and overhead as you have a nice full body stretch here. And then you can bring your hands back again, down to beside your body. And this time, point your toes up to the ceiling, full body stretch as you raise your arms up and over. Nice deep inhale here. And then exhale as you bring your arms back down to your side. And raise your left foot flat on the mat. Bend your left knee and extend, keep that right leg extended out in front of you, toes pointing up. Have your foot balanced on your heel. And we're going to really try to work some deep abdominal muscles here. So flatten that back a little bit into, bring those hip bones forward so the lower back is flattened towards the mat, or is coming down towards the mat. So, and activate your abdominal muscles, especially the right abdominal muscles, the deep right abdominal muscles. And using those muscles, right abdominal muscles, as well as your inner thigh muscle, just raise your right leg a couple of inches off the mat on the inhale, and then exhale, lower your right leg down to the mat. Inhale, raise, feeling the activation of your belly muscles using the inner thigh. Lower, and one more time, raise that right leg up towards the ceiling, toes pointed up. And now draw your right knee in towards your torso. Inhale and exhale. Push your heel out towards the front of the room. Inhale. Knee comes in towards the torso. Exhale, push that leg out towards the front of the room and the leg is off the floor. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, that right leg out in front of you. Feel those right belly muscles really working there. And then you can lower your right leg down to the mat. Bring your right arm over your head and then just do a nice stretch all the way up the right side of the body. From the inner heel, the inner arch of the right foot all the way up to the inner thigh, up through the middle of the body, the right side of the spine, up through the neck, and then the outer edge of the heel, up through the outside of the leg, outside of the right torso, and up through the right arm. And then you can bring that hand down and bring your right knee, right foot up to the mat, right knee pointing up, and take a moment to rest. Now extend your left foot out, toes pointed up to the ceiling, and engage those left deep belly muscles as well as the left inner thigh. As you're going to raise that left leg a few inches off the mat. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, raise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, raise. Hold it there a moment or a few breaths. And then bring the left knee in towards the torso. Push the left heel out towards the front of the room. Engaging those left belly muscles. Inhale, torso, knee comes in. Exhale, push the heel out to the front of the room. And one more time, inhale. And then push that heel towards the front of the room. Take 2 breaths here with the leg raised up off the floor, and really engaging the right left inner thigh and the left deep belly muscles here. And then you can lower the left leg down onto the mat, raise the left arm up and over, and have a nice stretch all the way through the left side of the body, starting at the left inner arch of the foot, up through the left inner leg, inner thigh, and all the way up the left side of the spine. Nice big inhale and exhale, and then the left outer heel up the outside of the left leg, left thigh, and up through the left side of the body, all the way up through to the fingertips. And then you can bring your leg and foot back to the mat. And if you have your strap now, you can reach out for your strap. And we'll begin with the right leg. So just loop the strap around the ball of your right foot. You can keep your left foot, knee pointed up on the mat. And then just slowly start to raise that right foot up towards the ceiling. We want to go slowly into this stretch so that the muscle fibers have time to release. So nice, you want to keep a soft knee and just lengthen up all the way up through the leg. And then do a little bit of a looser grip on your strap and just allow your right leg to do some hip circles. So take the right leg out to the side of the room, front of the room, opposite side, just making nice circles here. You can make big circles or little circles, but really feel the movement in that hip joint, that ball and socket joint. You're bringing blood flow creating space in the joint. Space creates freedom and helps with mobility. And then come to center, and you can go the opposite direction, possibly starting with smaller circles, making them bigger. Really taking all your attention into that hip joint, the bone rolling in that hip joint, and then come to center, and then take your hands a little bit further up onto the strap and begin to lengthen up all the way up through the back of the right leg, keeping the knee soft, allowing the muscle fibers to release here, the back of the hamstring, back of the calf muscle. As you draw your right heel up towards the ceiling, you'll feel more of a sensation in your calf muscle. And with each exhale, see if you can find a little more space and you can draw your foot a little closer in towards your head. So taking that breath down into the belly, keeping the belly soft. Imagine the breath going up the back of the leg, relaxing as you take exhale down the front of the leg. Then on the next inhale, take the breath up the front of the leg and relax as you exhale down the back of the leg. Now take your strap in your right hand. You can take your left arm out to the side and you can let that left knee, we're going to go into a stretch out to the right side. So the left knee can come out a little bit as a counterbalance. You want to keep the left hip, the back of the left hip stable on the mat as you slowly start to take your right leg out to the side of the room, getting a nice inner thigh stretch here. Once again, going slowly into this stretch to let those muscle fibers release. We don't want to overdo it, the stretch. So just come to your level of comfort. Once again, letting the exhale soften those inner thigh muscles. Two more breaths here. Keeping that left hip drawing towards the ground. You don't want it to be raising up off the mat. And then begin to bring the right leg up to center, and then you can take your strap in two hands again and just take your leg a little bit over the mid center of your body. So we're not going all the way over, just a little bit over to the left side. You can hold the strap in your left hand if you like. Oh, and you'll feel a strong sensation up the right side of that leg. It's hitting all different types of muscles. Breathe into the tightness. Let the exhale soften and open up those muscles. And then come back to center. You can lower that foot down onto the mat and lengthen out both legs here. Take a pause and a rest. Just feel all the sensations in the right leg versus the left leg. And now come back with feet on the mat, knees pointed up, and you can take your strap, loop it around your left foot, and once again, slowly start to straighten the left knee, taking the foot up towards the ceiling. Nice slow stretch here. Check that you're even from the big toe to that you're evenly drawing your foot up, big toe and little toe. So you're even across the ball of your foot here. Take some nice deep breaths. And then loosen your grip, and we'll do some hip circles here. So start with small circles in one direction. Once again, loosening up the muscles holding the hip joint. We don't want them too loose, but we do want to have some blood flow there, create some space, softness in that joint to take bigger circles, front of the room, sides of the room, back of the room. Once again, picture the ball and socket joint, the top of the thigh bone, rotating 360 degrees in the hip socket. Come to center and reverse, go in the opposite direction. Nice and slowly and mindfully. And then come to still. So have a nice soft knee here as you lengthen up through the left leg, the back of the left thigh, the hamstring, the back calf muscles. There's a number of muscles back in that back calf. Draw the heel up towards the ceiling. You'll feel a stronger stretch. Take your breath down into your belly and soften your belly. Exhale. And then the next inhale, draw the breath down and then draw it as though it can go up the back of the leg on the inhale and down the front on the exhale as you soften the front of the leg. The next inhale, you're going to draw the breath down into the belly, and this time inhale up the front of the leg. And then exhale down the back of the leg as you soften into the back of the leg. And if you find with any exhale that you've created a little space or a little softness, you can begin to see if you can draw the foot in a little bit closer in towards your head. Keep your shoulders relaxed, neck long. And then take your strap in your left hand. Extend your right arm out to the side, right knee as a counterbalance, because we're going to keep the right hip on the ground as we release the left leg out to the left side in a inner thigh stretch. The right hip might come up a little, but keep it drawing down towards the mat. Once again, using the breath to soften and open up the groin, the hip, and those inner thigh muscles. 2 more breaths here. And then bring that leg up to center. The right knee can come back, pointing up to center, and then take your strap in your right hand and start to take your leg across the midline of your body, just enough so you feel a strong sensation up the side of your left leg. That's, for me, is a weirder sensation than the inner thigh stretch. I think we've got the iliotibial band that we're activating or stretching out here. And then you can bring your foot back to center. Release the strap. Take both legs out in front of you and enjoy a little rest here. Just find that quiet, centered space. And when you're ready, roll over onto your side that's facing the computer, and you can just rest your head in your hand here. I'm just going to take the upper leg, bend the upper leg knee back, bend the knee, and then see if you can reach your hand around and take a hold of the front of the top of your foot and have a nice little quad stretch right here. So draw the heel in towards your buttocks, the right heel, or whichever heel you're holding, in towards your buttock, your top. And once again, letting the exhale lengthen and relax the quadricep muscles here. And then you can release, and then you can just roll over on your back on the other side. So you're going to see my back side here. And then bring that upper foot back towards your buttock, and then hold it the top of your foot. And nice stretch here for the quad muscles. And then you can release, and then use your hands to come up to sitting. We're going to come to Dandasana, which is what we did last week with our legs out in front. So once you're sitting here, you can just kind of lift your body up a little bit and try and locate those sit bones again. We want to be sitting on the sit bones. You can take your flesh of your buttock behind you so you can really find the sit bones. It will really help you to have a nice straight spine. The spine to be growing straight up out of the pelvis. If you still got some curving in your back here, you can also sit up on a pillow or blanket. Just to make sure that you're growing up straight out of your spine. And we'll do some foot circles here, so ankle circles. Back a little bit. In one direction, and then opposite. And then point your toes up to the ceiling and then down to the mat. To the ceiling, down to the mat. You can take your hands behind you, interlace them behind you, and draw them down towards the ground. And then if you like, you can start to take them away from your body if that's comfortable for you. And then bring your hands in front of you. Take your palms out, interlace your fingers, palms facing away from you. And then bring your arms up by your ears, lengthening up through the sides of your body. And then take your hands down beside you. The right hand comes down onto the mat as the left arm comes up by your ear, stretching up through the left side body, and then start to bend over to the right side. Breathe into the left rib cage here. all the little muscles that connect the ribs, giving them an inner massage with your breath. And then you can bring that hand back down and then take your right arm up and over. Left hand is down on the mat. Put your right hand up to the ceiling first and then start to bend over to the left. And then come back to center. And I'll take my pillow away here. So take your right foot, your right leg, and just cross it over. Take your left leg, cross it over your right leg and have it resting by the outside of your right knee. Now you can stay here. We're going to do a twist. You can stay here, or if you want to try this, you can just rock a little bit onto your right buttock and then just bend your right knee and bring your right heel by your left buttock. So you're in this position. So whichever is more comfortable for you, whatever you have access to. When you're ready, lengthen up from the tailbone up through the crown of the head. Take your hand around behind you and find the earth behind you with your fingertips. As you lengthen, we're going to take the left hand. Left hand comes out in a wide arc behind you. So the left knee is bent and the left knee is pointing up to the ceiling. Left fingertips find the earth behind you. You can put your right hand on your left knee, or you can put your right elbow around your left knee as we lengthen. And then exhale, going to start turning to the left side, rotating the body to the left. Pause. Inhale and lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, you can revolve a little bit more around. Your rib cage can start turning to the left. Inhale. And this time, look over your right shoulder. And then look all the way around over your left shoulder as you come into that final twist to the left. Your whole body is rotating around your spine as you lengthen up through the spine and relax and exhale into your twist. One more breath here. And come back to center. And like I always say, the body likes to be squeezed. So just enjoy this release here. And then you can bring your legs back out again in front of you. This time, the right foot comes over and crosses over the left leg and just rests by the outside of the left knee. And you can rock over a little bit on your left side if you want to bend that left knee and bring the heel of the left foot in towards your right buttock. Whatever accessibility you can find here, whatever's comfortable. And then we're going to lengthen up through the tailbone, through the crown of the head, and you can bring either your right hand, or left hand to your right knee, or the left elbow to the right knee as you begin to turn your torso towards your right thigh. Lengthen up and take the right hand around and fingertips find the earth behind you. That can help to lengthen you up and elongate your spine. Inhale, starting at the lower belly and lower back, begin to turn to the right and relax. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, begin to turn a little more around. The rib cage is moving to the right here. And now turn and look over your left shoulder And then bring your right mat, begin to turn your head and rotate it all the way around to look over your right shoulder. In that final twist here. The whole spine is twisting from the tailbone all the way up through the top of the neck. Two more breaths here, luxuriating in this twist. And then you can rotate around to center. Take a moment to enjoy that release of the spine. Boy, time's gone really fast. We will just come to standing, do a little bit of standing, and then we're going to do a really nice, a longer Shavasana. So come to standing. Root down with your feet. Have your feet, the inner soles, the inner edges of your feet are parallel with each other. Root down with your feet as you lengthen up from tailbone up through the crown of the head. The shoulders are nice and relaxed away from your ears. Have a little bend in your knees. And then take your arms out to the side as you extend your arms up beside your ears. And bring your arms a little bit back if you can. So rooting down through the feet as you lift up through your torso. And then you can float your hands back down to your sides. And once again, raise up. Feel lengthening up through the sides of your torso, all the way up through your fingertips. And then float your hands back down. One more time, lengthen up. And then float down. Take your feet out in a wide stance. You can have your toes pointed out to the sides of the room. Bend your knees. Have your hands on your tops of your knees or on your thighs. And then just bring your left shoulder forward in a nice little twist here across the lower back. And then come forward. And then bring your right shoulder forward and over to the left side. And then come back to center. Now straighten your knees and arms up and out to the four corners of the room. And then you can start to bend your knees, coming down into goddess pose with cactus arms. Pelvic, pubic bone and tailbone are equally weighted to the mat, towards the mat. And then press through your feet as you lengthen up. Four corners of the room. One more time. Come back down into goddess. And then lengthen up. And come back down. And then if you are comfortable, you can start to bring your feet in a little and then come down into Malasana or this kind of cobbler's pose. If not, just make your way down onto your mat. And I think it was here that I said we're going to do a different kind of Shavasana, only if you, if you're near a sofa or a chair. So I have a chair here. You don't need to be watching me, except for the first, just this little bit, so you can just see what I do. Then you can just find a chair or a sofa. Basically, all you're going to be doing is putting your lower legs, resting them on the chair as you extend or lower the rest of your body down onto the mat. So if you can find a chair or a sofa to put your feet up on, if not, you can just have your feet on the mat, knees pointed up. And just begin to settle down. I want you now to take your arms, hands up behind you, and cradle the back of your head in your hands. The thumbs are going to be pointed down towards the base of your skull, and your fingers are going to cradle the back of your head. I'm not sure if you can see that, but basically it's, yeah, just have your head in your hands, the back of your head in your hands. And we're just going to do a nice little the back of the head massage. So you find with your thumbs, your two thumbs, find that bony ridge, the base of your skull, and just do gentle little circles all the way along the base, the ridge there, the ridge of your skull, base of your skull. Whew. And really breathe into this. There's a lot of tightness that can be here, and a lot of tension you can hold here. So stop at any spot that feels a little more sensitive, and just use your thumbs to massage into that sensitive area. Just slowly move from the outer ears, from the ears all the way in towards your neck. Taking your time, making sure your backs of your shoulders are relaxed. And then you're going to come to that little crevice in the middle of the back of your neck, right at the base of the skull, and you can let your thumbs explore up that little ridge, up the little crevice, up the right at the base of your skull, going up towards your head. So just continue just doing that, letting the legs be relaxed, the rest of the body totally relaxed. Any sensitive spots, just feel around. Just you can start taking your thumbs, massaging all the way up the base of the skull. Oh, the back of the skull, I should say. And your fingers. And then come back to the base of your skull and give your head a little pull towards the back of the room. So lift your head a little, use your hands to pull the head towards the back of the room, so you're lengthening out the back of your neck. Using your breath here to really relax you, and then you can just gently place the back of your head onto the mat so your neck is nice and lengthened here. You can bring your arms down by your side. If you prefer to finish your Shavasana with your legs down on the earth, you can move away from your chair, or if you are finding this relaxing, you can just allow your body to relax here. You just begin to melt into the earth. Let go of any stress you may still be feeling. Picture butter melting in a warm pan, a warm frying pan. Let your body just spread out. Relax across your forehead, unfurrow your brow. Close your eyes. Relax your eyes, your eyeballs in your sockets. Let them drop deep into your sockets. Relax all the little muscles holding your eyes. Down into your cheeks. Into the hinge of your jawbone. Let it relax. Down the front of your throat. Across the sides, down the sides of your neck. And along the tops of your shoulders. Down your shoulder blades, the backs of your shoulders. Let them be nice and heavy, falling into the earth. Let your breath be free and easy. And you can continue to lie here for as long as you like. And thank you for joining me today. I hope that last little bit was relaxing, and I'll see you next week. Namaste.